Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Blitzball Champ here for a brand new video. Um, there's something that I kind of wanted to dive into and just give my own thoughts and opinions about. So this is in regards to former NFL wide receiver Terrell Owens declining to attend the Hall of Fame induction ceremony for the class of 2018 in Canton, Ohio. Um, so just to give a little quick rundown, um, Terrell Owens didn't get into the Hall of Fame during his first year of eligibility. He was a finalist in 2017, but didn't get voted in, and now it's finally been voted into the class of 2018 Hall of Fame, but he has decided that he's going to decline showing up at the induction ceremony. Um, First off, I want to say I get his frustrations. I get it. You know, the fact that he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, which, he pleads a strong case for. I mean, his stats don't lie. He's, definitely one of the best wide receivers, to have hit in the NFL, with the kind of career numbers that he put up in San Francisco, Dallas, and Philadelphia. But my thing is, the big thing about Terrell Owens has always been his attitude, his demeanor, that has been an ongoing issue throughout his career. And I get that, there's been a lot of criticism, when it comes to the voters of the Hall of Fame, that, off field issues, potentially being what kind of led them to not putting him as a first ballot Hall of Famer in the first place. Thus, taking it a while before he got voted in. Which, I mean, as far as being voted in, there have been tons of players that it took forever for them to get voted in. I mean, Chris Carter, Shannon Sharp, Mike Ditka, there's been players where it's taken, quite a long time before they finally got voted in. And it just comes down to one of those things where there's a certain set of regulations and laws, bylaws that the committee just goes through and abides by, and that's just all there is to it. I mean, some say that it should come down to mainly just performance stats, accolades, and not really have character be a deciding factor. But I mean, that's all up to the committee, and I just felt like it's at the point where that it does play a role. Henceforth, T.O., for example, being someone whose character, had a very negative demeanor, had an attitude, fought with players, fought with coaches. It was just how it is. That's just how it is. I think the biggest problem that I have with T.O., which, like I said, I get his frustrations. I really do. But this was his opportunity to really put everything behind him and to really rise to be the better man about it, because of the fact that he finally got in. He finally was voted in. It's done now. It's official. It's done now. But now, even after knowing that, okay, you've been guaranteed to get into the Hall of Fame, and he won't show up at the ceremony. And I just feel like that is going to validate what a lot of people have said about him, whether it's like other players, other coaches, just the negative things about him. and even like other players in the Hall of Fame or the committee, because they can look at that and be like, see, that's why we didn't vote for him in the first place. His first year of eligibility. Stuff like that. And I just feel like that's really gonna hurt his case in the long run. And I really, really hope that he has a change of heart before the ceremony, because this is his opportunity to really rise up, and really, even in his Hall of Fame speech, this is his opportunity to really say what's on his heart, with the journey that he's gone through, and really kind of put a stamp on everything now that, he knows that he's made it into the Hall of Fame, a place that not everybody goes into after finishing their career, and he has the opportunity to join many greats. He has the opportunity to join many, many greats, from Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Emmitt Smith, Mike Ditka, Chris Carter, like so many, and he's keeping himself out of that by not going to the ceremony. And I just feel like that's a really, really negative way to kind of leave things, all because he didn't get voted in the first time. And like I said, I get the frustrations and all, but you can tell that he really, really cared about this. Because honestly, I feel like if he didn't care, like going through the whole motions of, doing an interview on ESPN with a fake gold jacket with his stats on the back, it's like honestly, it stung him enough to go through all that. I really feel like it really hit him and it crushed him, and it really just put a bitter taste in his mouth. And I felt like this was the best opportunity for him to really get that out of his mouth, get that bitter taste, that bitter funk, now that he's been voted in to the Hall of Fame, class of 2018. But I just think it's really disappointing. I mean, this could have been something that he could have shared with his family, friends, and for many of his fans to really remember him as. This would have been the opportunity to put all of that behind him and say, hey, I made it. Despite all that I've gone through, I understand that he didn't carry himself in the best manner as he could have, but he made it. He made it. And still is, one of the greatest wide receivers, that have ever been in the league. His numbers say it all. His numbers speak for himself. But I just really feel like this is gonna really hurt in the long run. Not only just for the Hall of Fame and other players in it, but for himself as well. And I just really, really hope that he, while there's still time, reconsiders showing up at the NFL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I really, really hope he reconsiders. And I understand that it's possible that this could be one of those things where this is him kind of firing back at the committee, because he didn't get voted in the first time, and just, but I really feel like he's feeding, the fire unto them, because they can look at that and see and say, hey, it's actions like this, it's attitude like this, why we didn't want T.O. in the Hall of Fame in the first place. And that would not be good for him. That wouldn't be good for him. So me personally, my personal thoughts and opinions, I feel like he's, making a big mistake. I feel like he is declining the opportunity to put a whole lot of the negativity and bitterness behind him by showing up, and having a speech where he can say really what's on his heart. Thank those that have really helped him along the way, that have really, mentored him, that have been a big part of his life and getting to where he has gotten to this day. Whether it be family, friends, other players, coaches, whichever. It just this doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, and it's a disappointment. I can't say that I was ever a huge fan of To, but I respected him as a player. Of what he can do, the caliber of player that he was. I remember even playing with him in Madden. I think it was like last year's Madden or a year before, where he was available as a free agent, and I signed him to Carolina Panthers just because I could, you know. Um, but I just really feel that it looks bad. It looks bad for him, and it looks bad, and I just feel like it sets a bad example. Just for being able to go into the Hall of Fame in general. I just really feel like this sets a bad example. And I really, really hope that he reconsiders his decision. And while there's still time. But yeah, that's my take on To. And y'all let me know your thoughts, what y'all think. Do y'all agree with his decision? Do you disagree with his decision? Are you half and half? Make some good points. Make some comments. Let me know what you think. Would love to hear what y'all have to say. Anyway, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the deal. This is Blitzball Champ signing off. Take care. Have a blessed evening.